I'm joined by Kristian today in this one-on-one, Kristian Järnefelt, who is the Executive Vice President of the Consumer Security Business Unit at FSecure. And we're going to talk about today our recent alliance that is well underway and how we are working together and why we are working together and the joint challenges we are facing. Great to see you again, Kristian.
Hi, Philippe. I'm very happy to be talking with you again today, and hopefully at some point this year, also face to face in the same room.
Kristian, I do hope so, and I guess everyone is working very hard to make it happen. And we are very positive at Airties in general, but one of our values. So I really hope so. Listen, here we are in another Zoom call, and at least this is a one-on-one. It seems never to end, and it's very intense usually, and it's great to have this casual talk between each other. But still, as we are today, we are facing the same problem as everybody else: a good Wi-Fi, making sure our connection is secure, and in a way, this has been the daily life of everybody. It has changed so fast, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I dare to say that what has become what people call new normal will not swing back fully to the old ways of working. I mean, many people actually like working from home, but to me at least, but anything going to extremes is not good. So some people want to go to the workplace and so forth, but it is probably quite safe to say that people are going to be working more from home in the future. But right now, the fact is that we are confined to our home, and we are confined to our homes and working, managing our personal finances, banking, doing exams, exchanging files, all of that from the home network. So it is more important than ever that we have good Wi-Fi and are able to protect our activities, our devices, our data, and our digital lives.
Yeah, I cannot agree more, and I also agree on the fact that although we don't exactly know what the future of work will be, it will have a high dose of remote work, and it's the same for not only working but also education. However, it has its own challenges, and many people want to have the flexibility. They want to go back to work, and they will have to enjoy the same type of excellence in connectivity and security, whether they are from home or where they are from the office. So definitely this period is bringing a whole set of challenges. But if you will, can you tell me, in your own view right now, even though we are kind of in the middle of this storm, still how you see the challenges that you are facing, particularly in our domain?
Yeah. So one of the big things is that we see a huge growth in the connected devices in the home or the smart home. And looking at it from purely the security perspective, it is absolutely impossible to have protection for individual devices. So, I mean, think about yourself installing protection software to your smart fridge or your light bulbs and so forth. So there has to be an answer which is around something that watches the entire home network. And the most natural place to run this is the home gateway. And the current global situation means that home gateways are now being used both for work and personal use. So you need to apply security on the home router. That has become more important than ever if you want to cover everything that you have in your homework. And at the same time, users still have a lot of personal devices that they take with them everywhere they go. So their mobiles, their laptops, their tablets. So we need to simplify security for consumers by providing solutions that protect them in and out of the home. So instead of patch quilts, people really need something that provides consistent and support security that covers them whenever, wherever.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we see the same trends, and we've discussed that in the past. We've seen an acceleration of the number of devices in the home network and the number of conquer usage. The number of Wi-Fi connected devices in the world is now over 20 billion. And
Yeah.
we are in the middle of a perfect storm, if you will. We know the pandemic, that's right. We know the effect. We've discussed that many times about how people in the home are kind of competing for the same network, if you will. You have your daughter trying to pass an exam in video conference. You have your own conference call, and your wife is doing the same, and the other kid is playing video games with high high bandwidth, low latency, and all that at the same time needs to be perfect. But at the same time, we are witnessing a change of standard in Wi-Fi. We are moving to Wi-Fi 6, and it's not like, and Wi-Fi 6 is great, right? It's great to manage all this explosion of devices. But here's the problem. It takes typically 5 to 6 years whenever a new Wi-Fi standard emerges to represent over 50% of the install base. Right now, as we speak, we have 47% of the devices that are using still Wi-Fi 5. And listen to that, 40% are still using Wi-Fi 4, which is a 15-year-old technology. Now, and this is actually a big challenge for the networks because they don't behave as well as the new devices. Talking about the new devices, you mentioned a few, in particular the mobile devices. They are coming very quickly to the market. They are getting smarter, but they're also getting more selfish. They tend, on Wi-Fi perspective, they are trying to maximize their performance, but disregarding the impact on the overall home network performance. So the way we see our job is to maximize the benefits of the new technology, but also make sure that the old devices are not taking the whole network down and still are delivering a good service. This is the type of challenges we have, and it's far from being over. Wi-Fi 6E is coming, Wi-Fi 7 is around the corner. So it's a race. And as you said, this complexity is just here to stay because people will probably, past the pandemic, keep a lot of these good habits and try to have a better life also when in the office. But however, how do you see that all complexity together, and the Wi-Fi and the security, in particular in security? How do you see the service providers challenges and maybe opportunity to shine? And have you noticed a change and a demand that is increasing for the service providers?
Yeah, whenever we talk with the operators, I mean, first of all, one thing that starts to be pretty clear to me: consumers are not buying broadband; they want Wi-Fi in their homes. So that's the way people actually see it. They really see it through the Wi-Fi, the coverage that they have in their homes. And another thing is that security is obviously becoming important. And in many discussions where we talk with the operators about security, this topic of Wi-Fi comes into play. And the problem that operators are facing also today is that they need to maintain their competitive edge. They need to be competitive. They need to be innovative. They need to be putting out to the market some new services. And at the same time, they obviously need to be managing their cost base. And at the same time, they are obviously, as usual, challenged by the existing resourcing that they have to deliver new initiatives. So there's a lot of stuff that they need to get done, but the resources are not limitless. So they have to work within the realities. And I think that this is where the collaboration between our two companies comes in. So you are the leader in the Wi-Fi area. We are the leader in the security area when it comes to service providers. So as we are leaders in the service provider segment in our respective fields, we already support hundreds of ISPs. And worldwide, I mean, we have a lot of joint customers, and we have a lot of areas where we can complement each other. So when we combine our expertise from both sides, it allows us to bring a very powerful mix to the ISPs. So what we can do together is that we can deliver the best of breed solutions in an integrated way. So you get the best in class tools that are built with the most demanding professionals in mind. Not a multi-purpose tool that is average in all fronts and that is actually not allowing you to do anything meaningful in each of the specifics.
Well, I fully agree, Christian. I mean, we share the same philosophy, and we may talk about that later. But the service providers are now facing the dilemma whether the smart Wi-Fi and cybersecurity is an opportunity to have more ARPU, which is fine, and gain subscribers and etc. But to some degree, this will become a must-have. And it goes, I say, in pair with the excellence in broadband they're trying to push. So it's really on the competitive edge, but it has to be performed in a cost competitive way for them. Everybody's under constraint. And also, I believe we share the same view that we are not in this business to, even though we basically provide our services to hundreds of service providers, we're not in this business to provide our solutions to the happy few. We are here to bring the business to the world. And that means that you need to be flexible and optimize your research and development and be on the edge. And so it's important for me to highlight that one of the benefits of our choice, even though both features are very much combined and needed, that having a focus of each company on one side on their level of excellence, and at the same time making sure that they work tightly together to provide that solution as seamlessly as possible to all operators. It is really an ambitious plan, but that's the one that will make it work. So I've been more than convinced since the beginning. And you know, it's important to say that when we first talked, we shared the same philosophy of work, which is that partnership is not a logo that you put on a slide. Partnership is not even a contract. Partnership is a commitment and a shared view of how we should make business, and in our case, a shared roadmap and commitment for the future, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say that, you know, it is about partnership. It is about the way that we think about the operators. It is about the way that we look at the end users. I mean, we together can and must make the life of the end users easy. We together can and must make the life of the operators easy. I think that both of us being very operator centric means that we are not just trying to push kind of a retail type of e-commerce type of consumer solutions through a reselling operator channel. We are really operator experts, operator first companies that build these solutions, having operators on their mind. And we both have expertise in creating engaging and exciting end user application. FSecure made the world's first security application way back in 2001. And obviously Airties are pioneers in managing smart Wi-Fi. And I think that if we are able to utilize our consumer insight and UX experience to create compelling apps for home users, and as in some of the projects that we are working upon, we are combining the user experience into a single app instead of having a separate Wi-Fi app and a separate security app. So I think that there's a lot we can do both for the end user, but also for the operator, that really requires partners that are operator first and building their solutions for the telco environment.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian. You're talking about a joint application, which obviously is a tremendous effort, and also, but we are engaged also in a joint agent, as you said. It's important to actually reinforce and secure and make more powerful the gateways or the routers that the operators are providing to the consumers. But it's always a tremendous technical effort, and the way that we have combined our architecture technology makes that effort easy for the future. And I think it's a huge effort for both companies. And on that front, which, you know, we are both working on the edge and on the cloud in a way. I just wanted to share my view with you and wonder if you share the same. The way I see this overall, service provider, consumer service providing to the consumer, and the data, which is important for both of us to manage our development, improve, is a challenge also in terms of confidentiality. And the way I see The future is maximizing the confidentiality and the way we deal with data. And the second battle is on the cost. And in that way, I see a lot of investment and AI on the edge, taking advantage of the devices that really in the home, try to minimize the number of devices that needs to be in the home to have a performance cost, if you will, of the home network and still having the performance, but also making sure that we keep the confidentiality of the consumer safe. And try to apply on the edge a maximum of information and algorithm locally, and use the cloud for what it needs to be done. And this is where our worlds are really joining further, which is how do we ensure the safety even of the data we are using both in our own field. Do you share that view, Kristian?
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I think that our views and visions and plans are very, very aligned. And I think that we can safely say that both Airties and FSecure will have a busy future ahead of us, as the internet has never been as important as it is now. It's not just about what you do at your home, but it's also an extension to your working persona, your extension to your professional life and your home office. So yeah, a lot of opportunities ahead, a lot of possibilities to add value to the operator partners who then again are there to delight the end customers.
Thank you, Kristian. Thank you for taking the time today. You have a busy schedule, I know, but soon is the weekend. So thanks very much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to having more of this chat in the future. And hopefully,
yeah, and I think that there's a when we discussed earlier, there was a great example of the yin and yang that we have. We have minus 18 degrees, you have plus 18 degrees. So altogether, that balances really well.
Yeah, okay. I hope to see you in Istanbul, and I will see you soon as well when this is over. And I have great hope for that. Thank you, Kristian. Have a very nice day.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.